Hello, my name is Allison Carmen, and welcome to my podcast, 10 Minutes to Less Suffering. And the name of today's podcast is Why Do We Trust Our Problems More Than Our Solutions? And this has been on my mind lately. I noticed that I had a problem at work, and it was something that I couldn't solve immediately. The solution had so many facets to it, and so many things you had to see if it worked or it didn't work. And it just brought up this question: do I believe more in the problem than the solution? Because it felt uncomfortable. It felt uncomfortable not to know if it was going to work. And as I started to really connect it with my heart and remembered hope in the unknown and remembered the infinite field of possibilities and remembered the maybe, everything felt so different within me. I felt so much lighter. I felt so much more expansive because I realized that I was getting so vested in the problem. And the more vested I got, the more solid it got, the more stressful it got. And because plans take time and because there weren't clear answers, I had to remember my relationship with uncertainty and the infinite field, and it really did shift me within. I really became more spacious. I really had more within me to lift the stress and negativity and to expand and to believe in the unknown. And the more I believed in the unknown, the more ideas came to me, the more plans came for everyone, and the more peace I felt within. And of course, it's understandable. Something happens unexpected. You're faced with a problem. It feels real. It feels solid. And because it feels solid and because it feels like this is what's happening, it can get very heavy and negative within us. Again, we have to feel what we have to feel, but that permanent problem, that deep stress and worry, that feeling stuck, that feeling life won't change. It makes us suffer. It sinks us. It steals our joy. It steals the moment. And what happens that we believe in the realness and the firmness and the steadiness of the problem, and we forget that just like anything else in life, there is nothing completely solid. No matter how it looks in the moment, things will change. But because we can't see where it's going, because we can't see everything on the infinite field, we forget that uncertainty is our best friend. More energy goes to the heaviness of what we're seeing and less towards the lightness of all that could be. And when we're able to do that, when we're able to expand, when we're able to realize the infinite nature of life, we can believe in the solutions just as much as the problem. We could know that life will flow. We could realize maybe we don't know the answers completely. We make a plan. We hope it works. But if more of our energy goes there, to accepting what is, knowing it will change, using that knowing to be creative, to be part of that change, to hold the hope, to know that maybe everything is still okay the way it is and it can still change, knowing there are many ways to be okay. All these things, this expansive nature within us. Then we don't just live in our problems. We live in the entire universe, which is filled with problems and solutions, finite and infinite. But it is a choice from within how we are going to view life. And sometimes I've seen people believe more in the problems than the solutions, and at the same time still try to solve things. And over time, they were able to, but the suffering and the negativity and how it ruined their days, sleepless nights, when things ended up changing, it stole so much from them and the people around them. And I find that the people who are able to do it live in those solutions, that abundant way of thinking. There's more joy in the moment, but I also think there is more potential for success, because when you open yourselves up to that infinite playing field, when you say, I am expanding, I am ready, I am open, we attract more things. What we seek is seeking us. So there's something within us that takes up more space or calls in more to our lives. Every moment you are in will have hope. Every moment you are in will have gratitude, creativity, expansion. It is really a different way to live. And when I live this way, I have so much less stress and less worry. And the connector to it all is our relationship with uncertainty, is holding lighter what we know and reaching for what we don't know. And the truth is, when this happens to me, when I do get stuck, I use the maybe practice because that's the path. For me, maybe is the bridge from problem to solution, from stress to freedom, from anxiety to peace. Because I just remind myself that I'm believing that things are permanent, that I'm believing that problems are forever. I'm believing that new things can't happen. That's life without maybe. That's an addiction to certainty. But when you embrace the maybe and you're facing something that takes your breath away, or you can't seem to figure out, or you can't solve, and it's causing you to stay up all night, or you believe you're going to lose all your money, or your kids aren't going to be okay, you ask yourself, what is my biggest fear? My biggest fear is that I'm not going to be able to solve my problem. My biggest fear is I'm going to run out of money. My biggest fear is my child won't find their way. Whatever it is, this problem feels so big and I have no answers in the moment. But just because you don't see the answer and you don't have the answer, it doesn't mean it's not there. It doesn't mean it's not coming. The problem is part of the path. As we are experiencing the problem, we're also experiencing the beginning of the solution. We're just not there yet. So after we write down our biggest fears, we say, are my fears certain? Am I certain I cannot solve this problem? Am I certain that this problem will last forever? Am I certain this can't get better? And the beauty of life is that you cannot be certain of anything, and this is when it works in your favor. This is when you get to sit up straight and say to yourself, because I can't be certain of anything, life has maybe, which means every problem that you have in your life has maybe. And how you start to embrace the maybe is you start to put maybe statements against your fears. Maybe I will solve this problem. Maybe everything is still okay. Maybe there are many ways to be okay. Maybe I'll meet someone new. Maybe my child just needs some more time. Maybe a new client will come to me tomorrow. Maybe I don't know the answer today, but I will sometime in the future. Maybe I can handle it. And maybe there's something in this moment for me to experience other than this problem. With maybe you go from certainty to uncertainty, to the infinite, to all that's possible. And just realizing in this moment, when you feel bogged down by something that feels insurmountable, that seems impossible, when you realize that you don't know what's going to happen the next moment, and life has maybe, even without the answer, there's more breath within you, your heart opens up and hope comes in because you realize that you're not doomed. Life will change even when you can't see it. And that's really what this is all about. When we have a problem and we can't see the answer, we trust more in the problem than the infinite nature of life and all that's possible and every solution that could come our way. Even if that solution takes us in another direction, a new business, a new relationship, even if it takes us 1 year, 2 years for our child to figure things out, we stay the course. We trust in life. We trust that there is a path. We trust that things will change. We trust the flow of life. You have every reason to trust your solutions just as much as your problems. Just because you don't see it yet, just because things are challenging right now, doesn't mean a thing. Every life has ups and downs. Everybody has dreams. And most people are often seeking solutions, but we know that nothing is certain. And because of that, the uncertain road will lead us to new opportunities, new possibilities, and for all we know, maybe the best is yet to come. Thank you for listening to this podcast today. If you'd like to get in touch with me, you can email me at allison@allisoncarmen.com. If you'd like to buy my books, The Gift of Maybe, A Year Without Men, Maybe Everything's Okay, A Parent's Guide to Less Stress and Worry, they're available at all major bookstores and online retailers. If you'd like to buy my Maybe cards or my Maybe journal, they're available on Amazon, Etsy, and my Stand store. And most of all, if you like this podcast, I hope you subscribe and leave a comment.